I'm going to show you the Queen Wagtoggle cheese, which will probably get you some free MMR. Now, this strategy popped in my head as soon as I saw the buddy revealed, and that's why I put Queen Wagtoggle not in F tier, but in like a little bit higher, like B or C tier, just because I thought this had potential. So I'll show you how to do it. I'll give you some tips as well to maybe increase your average win rate to a first or a second place playing this comp. It took me a while before I could finally pull this off. I never really found the good lobbies for it, but other people did because I told them about it, and they said they did really well with it. They got first, second, they were really excited, so I wanted to give it a go myself and see if they were lying or if this also is gonna work in high lobbies, because this lobby I am currently top 50 EU, so and I'm stacked against some other streamers in here, so it's kind of risky to pull off. But basically with Queen Wagtoggle, the first tip that I can give is, well, you stay on tier 1 the entire game and just buy good tribes. Now the lobby needs elementals because elementals are the best cards to cycle on tier 1. Other cards cycling is probably less efficient, that you won't get there, so make sure there's elementals in the lobby. Other good tribes are demon and mechs, because then you have a divine shield card on tier 1 to buff, and then you have a demon on tier 1 to buff, which is the trickster. That is just amazing. Now murlocs you don't care about, it's just a random body. Same with quillboar, that's why there's a random quillboar on my board. And you want to be picky, don't just take micro mummies because that's the worst card to scale up. Don't take the 1/1 death rattle demon, that's also just horrible. Really be picky with the cards, and you can hold elements in hand until you get your buddy. Now here we're up against Brukan. So far I haven't lost a single fight yet. And my tier 4 buddy, normally you should get pretty late, but we get it in the same turn here as Brukan, a tempo hero, got their tier 2 buddy. So because you play such strong tempo boards with Queen Wagtoggle early on, you get your buddy actually relatively easily compared to other heroes. Like this tempo hero got their tier 2 buddy in the same turn. That was like my main concern, that it will take a while before you get your buddy active, but seems easy enough to me. So now you simply just start playing elementals. You will see the bullshit that is this comp. Now a disclaimer is these lobbies are not ideal because there is poison. There is murloc, so people can poison against you. There is also spores, but there's no beast, so no max. Now I think the ideal lobby for this would be a lobby without murlocs and without beasts, because then the only poison would be spore, and that is very easily beatable in the late game because you outskill most people. It's kind of insane the skilling that this will put out. You will see it in a second. Also triples are bait. Don't take any triples except for the trickster, of course, because trickster is a lot better when it's golden. But the buffs you don't want to waste any. The other cards really don't matter. It's also wasted gold. Just cycle elementals, just do strong shit on tier 1. It's kind of like having a Caligos. Like your buddy is basically a Caligos but better, because instead of looking for useless battle cries, you find elementals which are better, because elemental is 2 triggers for 1 gold, and the other one gives you free rolls as well, so you can roll more. And you don't buff random dragons, you buff trickster, a divine shield card, which is the pub bot, and then random cards, I guess. You don't have a Nadina endgame, but we're gonna build our own Nadina, which is golden selfless. So the way that you can actually close out first place is if you level at some point to tier 2, find golden selfless, maybe ghoul, and in a no poison lobby you can easily just outskill everyone and actually get first places, I believe. In a poison lobby it's going to be a little bit trickier. You can beat them depending on what they have, of course. If your ghoul does a good job, if you have golden selfless, and here we triple trickster, hoping to hit the selfless, or an elemental even for scaling. We hit nothing, so it doesn't really matter. We stay on 1 and do the same stuff. So yeah, the fundamental flaw with this comp is also you don't deal damage, so you will end up just having really strong boards. I still haven't lost a fight. We're up against Lich, but we're dealing like 2 or 3 damage at a time. If you can have our buddy survive, that would be good, because it's a 4-star card. But yeah, just like the Lich Badial cheese on tier 1 or the Millhouse cheese on tier 2, you are strong, but you usually don't deal a lot of damage, so you need strong opponents in the lobby to kill others. You usually slow down lobbies, because when people face you, they can just power level and do greedy stuff, since, well, they're taking no damage anyway. So that is an issue. Now one thing I also want to bring up is, if nerfs are coming true, very likely what is going to be nerfed is poison. People are complaining a lot about Illidan, about Reborn Maxnaz, about stuff like that, so I feel like cheesy comps like this will only get better in the future, which I'm scared about, unless they of course are gonna adjust how Weavers work, how tier 1 works, but I don't really have super high hopes for that. I think things like this are just gonna improve even more. One of the bigger questions is also, when do you level to tier 2? I think I would only start leveling once it's noticeable that I need divine shields to beat my opponents. So far that isn't the case. So far stats are still good enough, so stats are relevant. I do want to be big enough, since if I do stop scaling at some point and start rolling for the selfless, and then I start getting outskilled, you have no chance anymore. They already have a immune spore, but doesn't matter. Like, we still beat everything else on their entire board, so we just, you know, are gonna deal some 5 damage here to the Illidan. And there's a ghost, so people can finally start dying and now we're up against Mukla. I think the general rule of thumb is that once you triple your buddy, then you level to tier 2, so that way you triple into 2-drop. If you buzz on Selfless, then just level up, and then you start rolling for the Selfless and the Ghoul, and depending again on your opponents, you can keep on scaling with elementals or just stop. Basically. Now this gameplay is kind of boring, it's always the same stuff over and over. Now this Mukla triple into a 6, which is a massive Foe Reaper, does have 2 big Trixies as well. Like, they are a really strong tempo hero, still on 30 HP. Doesn't matter, like nothing compares to what we are doing. I think it's actually disgusting, and I don't see a single way that you can die early with Queen Wagtoggle. Like, you always are stronger than everyone else in the lobby early on, so you should guarantee a top 4, unless you face like 2 people who high roll multiple Amalgadons and deal like 20 plus damage a turn to you, but I don't see that happening. We're still on full HP, now we're facing Lich, and now I feel like we're still, you know, a little bit scared of poison, since we did see Illidan with a Spore with immune already, and I think Lich can easily power level and do some crazy stuff as well, since they are not doing any cheese either with like demons or stuff like that. So we really gotta start thinking about the end game. Again, like most end games, or like I said earlier, Golden Selfless School will be the best tools for you to actually have a chance. I finally leveled to tier 2 here, but I think it's 1 turn too early. This is again the first time I do this strat. I didn't really know when I should start leveling, but we see that this person does have 2 Poison Amalgadons and another 7 in the back. The scaling that they have doesn't matter because we outscale everything on the board, but the poison is definitely scary. If we had left here, I think we have a chance, but sadly we didn't, so we're probably gonna end up losing this fight, but not by too hard. Like, we're still alive, we did get our triple buddy, and the reason why I thought staying down for 1 turn is better is because, again, we have our triple buddy here. I want to discover a 2-drop and then level up. Now we'll discover 3-drop. I don't know what 3-drop would be good in this spot. Now, things that would be good are 5-drops. Like, we could hit a Baron. I guess a McKz would be playable here, but it's a no beast lobby. But yeah, a Baron would be good on tier 5. A Spore, you know, we can fill out our board with poison because his buddy is kind of useless. A 7, of course. So depending on, you know, the situation, you could level up more aggressively and try to look for better tech cards to slot on your board. But I think if you just stay down scale and fight Golden Selfless Ghoul, you will most likely have an easy top 3 with maybe a first place potential. But if you really want to take that gamble, you know, I'd say level up and look for some 5-drop tech cards to play if you think you're skilled enough. And here you're up against the Brukan, who also has a Firebat, is doing some Brukan tempo-ish things with their buddy. And again, you can tell that it's not even close. Another good card, I guess, on this board would be a Argus, so we can just taunt our Trickster to have it guaranteed die and get value, because our Trickster is too big, it just doesn't die. Honestly, what we're doing just feels kind of like cheating. My chat also doubted me when I told them about this strategy and that I wanted to do it in a Murloc lobby. No one believed that this would actually, you know, get this far, but it does, and it feels disgusting. I wonder if this was intended, if this was how you're supposed to play Queen Wagtoggle with their buddy, like if the devs tested this, or if they expected people to level more aggressively to tier 4 or 5 and then just do a comp like this. Because on tier 1, like, there's just too much you can do. And I feel like Queen Wagtoggle is now in the same spot as Vol'jin. With Vol'jin, you want demons, dragons, and beasts in the lobby to do Targosa, McKz, and Trickster comp, right? So you get like infinite health on your Targosa with your Trickster. But with Queen Wagtoggle, you want 3 tribes as well. You want Mechs and Demons because they're the best 1-drops, and you do want Elementals because they're the best to cycle on tier 1. Now look at this Illidan. They have like double immune Spore, double immune poison, and we still beat them. We were still able to beat them with only a single Selfless. We don't even have Golden Selfless yet. I'm starting to stop scaling here. I'm figuring out if stats are still relevant. And we did see someone with Golden Brand. We do know that Lich also did skill quite a bit. So I'm still going to buy a couple Elementals, not too many anymore. But with Golden Buddy, I think it is probably worth it. It's like having 2 Caligos or like a Golden Caligos on your board with your tribes. So some scaling will still be a raid, but I do really want to start, you know, countering opponents. Against this curator, I was really debating playing this Ghoul because I kind of board lock myself. I'm going to end up doing it because I don't want to die randomly. He has double Amalgam, so he could have 2 modules in it. Has 0 modules. Does play a Selfless. Sadly, I go first. I didn't expect a Selfless there, so now he does get full value. And yeah, he is kind of massive. So it seems like we will be losing to him just because his poison does value trade, or like his big Amalgam buddy here, the mismatch is just a little bit too much to handle. So I guess that will still outskill you. But he's a 1 unit Andy pretty much. We're now up against Ghost, so either Lich or Cuter will die here. I will just have a free top 2. I got top 2 doing nothing but cycling elementals on tier 1 against some poison high roll, alright? Like, this is not a poison free lobby, so this is not even an ideal lobby. So imagine what you could do in the perfect scenario with the perfect tribes. Now I level because I want to start dealing some damage. One thing is that if Lich survives, we do want to kill them if we beat them, because I don't think I can beat them twice in a row. Now the major upgrade I can make is just replacing my buddy with something. Now it's really hard to find a good replacement because poison is on tier 5 and 6, so the only good replacement I guess would be another Selfless that pops there by the ghoul. So we have like Golden Selfless, normal Selfless, or maybe a second Taunt. I was thinking about Acolyte because they do open with Amalgadons to protect my board, but the Acolyte could just eat the shield from Selfless and I'm kind of sad, so it doesn't really make that much sense anyway. And I do have a ghoul that takes like gets rid of the shields, so it's kind of tough to figure out what the best solution here is. And yeah, they have a board that's just like insanely hard to beat for us. I don't see a single way that we are able to compete with these poisons, but maybe there is a world, right? He does, like, both his Amalgadons are the only things that kind of outstat my board, that value trade. The other Murlocs don't, so with correct shields and with good hits, I think there might be a way. Like, these hits are going alright so far. The plant dodged the shield once again, and we're able to clear this Amalgadon. Now, I think there was a world where we could get this, like if this buddy attacks right side, it's already a tie because we clear one of the Murlocs. So I definitely think we could have a chance here. Like, we're not dead yet, we have another shot. But yeah, this is just most likely a second place game, which is fine. First time trying the strat in a suboptimal lobby, pretty high stacked lobby. I'll take it. So that means that if you guys ever see a lobby with Demon Mech Elemental and you have Queen Wagtoggle offered, I would just take it and just spam this. And then I would also suggest that you look if Murlocs and Beasts are out, because that is going to make it even better. I would always take it in that lobby and just do this, because I feel like it will be really hard for people to outscale you. And then you can also indeed look for Argus to maybe make sure Trickster dies more consistently. Go for that Golden Selfless endgame, and then see if there's anything else you need to counter your opponent specifically. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.